Right now, more home buyers are backing out of deals than almost any point in the last decade. In December, roughly 1 in 6 signed contracts got canceled, the highest rate since it started being tracked back in 2017. Think about who these buyers are. They're not browsing Zillow on the couch. They already made an offer, got it accepted, spent the money on inspections, and still walked away. So the real question for any seller isn't just why won't my house sell, it's why are buyers rejecting it before they even see it, during the tour, and even after they're under contract. I'm Joel Poulin, a real estate broker in Palm Beach County, and I'm on the side of these buyers every week. I know exactly what makes them walk, and most of it, you as the seller can control. Here are the 10 reasons that buyers are rejecting homes right now, backed by actual data on why deals fall apart. Number 2 is the single biggest deal killer in the country right now, so make sure you're paying attention. Let's start with number 10. They reject it before they even see it. Most homes today get rejected before a buyer even walks through the door. Buyers screen hard online now. The photos, the price history, the map. My buyers will sometimes even drive by a house before they even ask me to show it, checking whether it backs up onto a highway, sits under power lines, or faces a busy road. If it doesn't pass the 30-second test, the showing never happens, no matter how nice it is inside. And the biggest culprit is the photos. If they are dark, cluttered, shot on a phone, or from a wide-angle lens that makes the room look an unrealistic size, either way, you lose. Bad photos get scrolled past. Deceiving ones get you a showing and then a very annoyed no the second that the reality doesn't match. Get professional photography that's accurate, not flattering to the point of being dishonest, and be realistic about the location you've got. You can't win a buyer you've never gotten in the door. Number 9, the listing oversold it and now they don't trust you. When the listing promises more than the house delivers, you don't just get a disappointed buyer, you make them doubt everything else that you've said. The classic one here in Florida is your private backyard oasis. The buyer gets excited, pulls up, and it's a slab of patio, no fence, and the neighbor's window is 3 feet away. Now, they're not just let down about the yard. They're wondering what else is a stretch. The updated kitchen, the quiet street, the square footage. Trust is the whole game in a market where buyers already feel nervous. Describe the home like it honestly is, and let the house beat expectations instead of falling short of them. The buyer who's pleasantly surprised writes an offer. The buyer who feels tricked just leaves. Number 8, it's been sitting and the buyers can smell it. Buyers can smell a stale listing, and right now the market has a whole lot of them. Homes are taking longer to sell. Here in Florida, we're averaging around 84 days, up from about 68 a year ago. And price cuts are everywhere. Nationally, close to 1 in 5 listings has taken a reduction, and about 1 in 10 has been cut 3 or more times. Buyers watch all of it. The first question I get on a home that's been lingering is, what's wrong with it? And 9 times out of 10, there was nothing wrong with the house. The price was just listed way too high on day 1, so it sat, and now the days on market number itself has become the problem. A stale listing makes buyers assume that there's a defect even when there isn't. Price it right from the first week. That opening burst of attention is the most valuable you will ever get, and you only get it once. Chasing the market down, cut after cut, only teaches buyers to wait for the next cut. Number 7 is that buyers have options again and they won't settle. For 3 or 4 years, buyers had no leverage. They waived inspections, they overpaid, and took whatever they could get. That's over. Inventory has climbed and buyers have more choices. And about 13% of collapsed deals now happen simply because the buyer found something that they like better. They come in with a hard must-have list, an open floor plan, a real home office, some privacy, and if your home doesn't check all the boxes, they don't stretch or compromise anymore. They move on to the next one because now there is a next one to move on to. You can't rebuild the floor plan for a showing, but you can make your listing speak to the buyers that your home actually fits, and price it so that it's clearly the smarter choice on their shortlist, because these days there is definitely a shortlist. Number 6 is the contingency trap. This one catches sellers completely off guard. The deal dies not because of your house, but because of the buyers. About 1 in 5 canceled deals falls apart because the buyer couldn't sell their own home in time. You accept the offer and you feel great. You stop showing the house, and then weeks later, the whole thing falls apart because their buyer walked or their sale never closed. Now you've got lost time, momentum, and all the other buyers who moved on while you were tied up. So this one's really all about the offer that you say yes to, not just the house. If an offer hinges on the buyer selling their current home, find out exactly where that sale stands before you take your home off the market. A slightly lower offer with clean, ready financing is often worth far more than a higher one built on contingencies. Okay, these last 5 are where the deals actually die. Not the buyer didn't love the kitchen. These are signed contracts blowing up over money and nerves. Cold feet, the monthly payment, insurance, inspections, and the big one at number one, the price itself. If you're selling, these are the ones that decide whether you close. And if this is helping, make sure you hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Number 5 is cold feet after the contract has been signed. Here's the buyer that does everything right, makes the offer, gets it accepted, and then just gets scared. This is that record stat that I mentioned up top. Roughly 1 in 6 deals canceled, the most in nearly a decade. And a big piece of that is plain nerves. Nearly 3/4 of Americans say that they think that this is a bad time to buy a house. And when a buyer already feels that way, every little bump in the process becomes a reason to bail. A scary headline, a tweak in their rate, a wobble at work. You can't fix the economy, but you can remove the excuses. A home that is priced fairly, shows honestly, and inspects clean gives the nervous buyer no off-ramp. The deals that survive cold feet are the ones where the buyer never feels like they overpaid in the first place. Number 4, it's the payment, not the price. For a lot of buyers, the number that kills the deal isn't the price on the listing, but the payment at the bottom of the loan estimate. Buyers don't qualify on the sticker price. They qualify on the monthly payment, and that payment is carrying more weight than it used to. Higher rates, plus taxes, plus insurance, and suddenly that house that they can technically afford feels impossible on the first of every month. Almost 15% of collapsed deals trace back to a change in the buyer's finances late in the game, often just a payment becoming real. And in Florida, taxes are their own trap. A longtime owner might be paying tax on an assessed value that's years out of date, but the moment a new buyer closes, the county reassesses at the full market value, and the bill will jump well past what you pay now. After a buyer runs the math and adds it to their mortgage and their insurance payment, sometimes they just simply walk. As a seller, it's beneficial to keep in mind the real stabilized payment that a new buyer will face, taxes and insurance included, because they aren't shopping for your price, they're shopping for your payment. Number 3 is the insurance. Homeowners insurance used to be an afterthought. Now it's one of the first things that buyers check, and it's reshaping deals all over the country. Premiums are up almost 40% nationally in just the last few years, and in higher risk areas, it's steeper still. Coastal markets, wildfire country out west, and yes, here in Florida, the average premium can run well around $8,000 a year. Add a flood zone and there's a separate policy stacked on top of that, which is why some buyers won't even book the showing until they know the actual number they'll be paying. But wherever you're selling, the lesson is the same. Buyers price insurance into the deal now, and they'll pull their own quote during due diligence. If that number comes as a surprise, then you might lose them. So take the mystery out of it. Have your current premium and coverage details ready in writing. And if your home has anything that brings that cost down, like a newer roof or impact windows or updated wiring or plumbing, put that front and center, because those genuinely lower the quote. A known, reasonable number keeps the deal alive. A scary, unknown one kills it. Number 2, the inspection blows it up. This is the single most common reason that a signed deal falls apart in the country. When agents were surveyed about why their deals collapsed, 70% of them pointed to the same thing: home inspections. The pattern's always the same. You accept an offer, everyone's thrilled, and then the inspector shows up and finds the aging roof, the tired AC, the water heater on its last legs, or signs of foundation or moisture problem. A buyer who's already nervous doesn't see a to-do list. They see the money pit. They add up the tens of thousands of dollars in their head, and they use their inspection contingency to walk, completely legally. The fix is the highest return move a seller can make. Get ahead of it. Have your own pre-listing inspection done, and either handle the big ticket items or price them in and disclose them up front. Buyers can forgive a flaw that they saw coming. What blows up a deal is the surprise, the thing that makes you wonder what else you're hiding. And finally, number 1, it's overpriced for the value. And the number 1 reason that buyers reject a home, the one sitting underneath almost all the others, is simple. It just doesn't feel like enough house for the money. Buyers often do the homework before they ever call me. They've pulled the comps online, they've seen what homes have sold for, they've lined up your home against all the other ones on the list, photo by photo, and they're all asking the same question: am I getting my money's worth? Right now, a lot of them are deciding the answer is no, and they've got the leverage to act on it. Almost 45% of home sales now include sellers kicking in concessions, up sharply from a year ago, and nearly 3/4 of Americans think it's just a bad time to buy at all. So they push or they pass, and the number 1 reason that a home sits unsold is almost always the price.